Hey guys, what's up? Cosmos, and today we're going to do our video a little different. So, one of the first things that I've noticed a lot of you guys is some of you guys are new to the game that are checking out these videos, and an hour-long video is pretty hard to digest right away. So I'm going to try to do a couple videos of different things that I build in the game, things that might help players out, and understanding the process of the game. I'm going to try to shrink those down to anywhere from 10-15 minutes. I'm still probably going to do some long ones when we do extended base building, but then I might make smaller videos to break down the different components we build within it, or how to make certain systems function in this game. So, excuse me. So, with the seed that from the previous video, if you guys have been following along and waiting patiently, and I'll talk to you guys about what's going on, because a lot happened this week, and I was unable to sit down here and really kind of work on videos, and I apologize for that. But what I'm going to go over with you guys today in this video is about how to make a clean water producing system using duplicate P, essentially. And this is one of the first things you'll want to do, because it's a good way for you to create water in your base essentially for free, using nothing but waste from your duplicates. Now, there's a reason I have this system set up. It does take a little bit of power, and in order to do that, you guys are going to want to have like a clean coal system or something of that effect. And that's what I've essentially done. Is my base is going to self-sustain itself at some point. I'm going to create the coal, which I can use for my generators down here, and I split my power on the power grid so that none of these are really overloaded. And the next video, it's coming to a point where we're starting to burn through quite a bit of algae. Not a lot of it, but enough to where we're going to be doing our SPOM, or self-powered oxygen maker. And here, so I want to kind of talk to you guys a bit about how to use the latrines or the lavatories and the sinks and the showers, and how to kind of do that. So the main thing that you're going to notice is it takes 5 kilograms of water to use the lavatory, but you get essentially 11.7 kilograms of polluted water out. So you're getting essentially double plus a little bit, so like 1 1/4 per se times the amount of water back from this. But the problem with that is it's polluted. So it's going to be polluted water, and it's going to be germy water. So if you spawn next to something that's chlorinated like this is a really easy way to kill those food poisoning germs or any kind of germs that come into. So as you can see, this liquid reservoir has a little bit of food poisoning germs, but as it sits in the chlorine just kills it all the way down to 0. So that is why I have this set up the way I do. And this pipe runs into my water sieve, which then turns polluted water into clean water. And then that just runs to my liquid shutoff, so it's not cycling through, because I want it to kill all the germs before it comes back into my base. Because as you can see, I'm still holding water here. So essentially I only started this system by priming it, and how I primed it was Jesus, if I can get the overlay. I ran water to this starter little 4-piece right here, and it created its own polluted water. And that hooks up to my liquid reservoir. So here, real quick, let's do this. So before you do this system, you're going to need a power source. So I have my internal combustion, my generic sensors, and the smart battery is very important for these early generators and even later, because it's going to preserve you from having to use more coal than is necessary. It's just going to stop it from running, so you'll create less carbon dioxide, and you won't use up all your coal so fast. Plus you're going to get the clock sensor, which is really important for what I do. Then you're going to need to obviously refine that metal to make the smart battery and the automated wire. So brute force refinement is important. So you need generic sensors, you're going to need a power source, and brute force refinement. So those are key. The first key ones. The second thing you're going to need is you need improved plumbing, at least, because you need to get to the liquid reservoir, and you're going to want to insulate a liquid pipe and the liquid shutoff. The liquid shutoff only works using some automation, and I hooked that up to my clock sensor, which is right here. It's a generic sensor, and it also uses a timing mechanism, which I'll show you how to use here. Obviously, you need plumbing, which you'll need to get to here. Distillation, so that way you get your water sieve, and I believe that is all you need to create this kind of a system. So I'm gonna save this real quick, and then I will go to the menu. So I'm gonna go into sandbox mode real quick, and I'm gonna show you guys how something like this works. So let's see. Yeah, it's deleting all of these early ones, I believe. Yeah, cool. Okay, so essentially in the early game, you're going to start off. I'm going to put a debug real quick to show you guys. So I don't really have any chlorine here. And this is going to be really common for something like that, but there is chlorine down here you can access and show, but for this I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to dig out and show you guys what I'm talking about here. So we'll dig all this out. And then I'm going to put a little chlorine pot here. And if you don't have chlorine, there is a way to do it. It's going to require more power. You're going to have to essentially heat the water. But for the example's sake, I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. So I'm going to show you guys how I would build something like this. It might be a little longer, and what I would do is I would pretty much gather all this water into one point, dig my way down to this chlorine, and I would set my water sieve up in the chlorine over here. So I'd probably dig all this out, set a water sieve up in the chlorine. But for that matter, what I'm going to do is I will take this, I'll just put like 2 kilograms. We'll fill this, and then I will just clear the floor here. So you're going to have your base, looks like this, and then let's just say we have like a chlorine pocket. It's there, okay? So what I like to do is, I like to, as I've told you guys, I like to get the water bonus, holy cow. I like to get the room bonuses. So I have found that 4 toilets and 4 sinks, I have to go further out, and 4 sinks are what's the max you can fit into this room and acquire the bathroom bonus, okay? So this is, I'll just put a ladder here for my dupes to get there. So that way when I go to show you guys the system, you can see what I'm talking about. Okay. So in this system, guys, you're going to have to run some plumbing. Now, the reason I run insulated liquid pipes on my input is because for me, in this scenario, you don't have to. I prefer to do that because the water that the sieve puts out is very hot, okay? So that doesn't matter as far as your duplicants go, as far as using the bathroom, and they can do that. They can use any temperature water to pee and wash their hands with, and to shower with. It doesn't really affect them. It doesn't scald them or anything, because these have the sieve has a fixed output temperature. So let's do this, and then refinement. So I do the sieve. I'm gonna flip it, and then plumbing. I'm going to put my liquid output here. And I'm going to put a clock sensor there, just to kind of show you guys how I would set this up. And then down here, I'm going to have my liquid reservoir, which I'm going to run to, and then I'll plumb the system, and we can do it like this. Okay. Actually, I'm going to put this over here. Okay, so essentially, this is what's required to get your system going. So for me, anything that comes into my base from the water sieve, I'm going to run insulated pipes from. And I do that to keep my base at a temperature that is controllable and sustainable. Now, you could split this and do 3 and 3, but for every lavatory, I like to have a sink. If a dupe uses this, if you have 2 lavatories and 1 sink, if both the dupes use this at the same time, only one of them is going to wash their hands. So they're still going to get germs everywhere. And that is not ideal at all. So I'm going to have to put some power system here too, so we can do that. get everything done that I want to show you guys. I gotta do some quick building, and we're gonna do that real quick. So we'll just put this here. I'm gonna put manual outside on coal, and then smart battery here, automation here, water. It's gonna power this. This is gonna run power. Boom. Okay. And then this is gonna need to be hooked up to this to get it started, so that way I can get it done. You have to set something on your automated battery, and then I'll set this for 15. So that's ideally how I like to set those up. So from here, what I'm gonna do is you have to prime the system somehow. The system has to be primed. And what I mean by primed is it's gonna have to have water put into it initially, okay? Now your outputs can have any pipe you want because it's gonna put water out at just its regular temperature. For this, we'll just use insulated just to keep everything the same here. So I'll run insulated here. Gracious gravy. Alright, so my output is going to go to the input of my sieve. And you can read it up here. It will tell you what this is supposed to be. It has to be put in this way, okay? So then the output for my sieve is going to go to my liquid shutoff. And this is going to go to the intake here. And I'm going to do that because this is going to hold all that extra water that we possibly can. And then from the output of my liquid reservoir, I take it back into my system. Okay. So this has to be automated. It has to be hooked up with this. Now, as far as this goes, I found that your dupes only use the bathroom when you tell them to, which normally is first thing in the morning. And then they sometimes will use it again late at night. I like to set it for about 20, and I like to put it near the end of the day because that's going to typically give my dupes enough time to kill off. This is going to give it time to kill off all of the germs that are going to be in the water. Okay, so that's typically how that's going to work. Let me run this real quick. I'll show you guys. So we're going to let the system get set up. We're going to go ahead and prime this system real quick. We'll go ahead and get the system primed up. Okay, and I'm going to do it like this, so this way you can see the dupes will eventually use the bathroom. So we'll just put it up here. So we're going to get that initial water in. Excuse me. So initially it's going to pump all the water in, and it's going to get the system fully, and I call it charged up. So then you can break off this pipe once it is charged up. Okay, you'll no longer need that pipe after you initially get it charged up. So now we'll fast forward a little here. I'll give them some beds or something so they can relax too. All right, so we'll speed it up and we'll get it to the night cycle, and then I'll show you guys exactly what I'm talking about here. Here, you guys want something to do? Just go have some fun. There, we'll let them dig or something. Let them have some fun while they're waiting. Yeah, here. It doesn't matter what you guys do. We're only gonna do this for about 3 seconds because I don't want to lose them. Okay. Oh crap. In order for me to view it, I haven't researched everything. So he's gonna be using the bathroom here. So as he's going in to use the bathroom, as you can see now, it's going to output all that dirty water. Here we go. So this is now dirty, polluted water. My sieve's going to clean said water when they're told to. So for this, let's I put the system together backwards. Rest in pieces. So this is actually supposed to be like this. So I'm gonna do this to here. Well, I totally could have made this so much cleaner, and I goofed now. I apologize, guys. like to run this as long as I can, so that way it can hold all that extra water. Okay. Jesus, I'm sorry guys, I goofed it. Okay. There's a reason that this was set to this, and it's because I did it backwards. If I did that, then only the shutoff would work that way. So now I have to do this a little different. Crap! Crap. I have to have sand put in here. And okay guys, I'm sorry. I'm really bad. Okay, so they're gonna come in here and put some sand real quick. Okay, so anyway, now the water's plumbing through. Okay. Now the water's plumbing through. And it was coming in here all dirty, nasty water, nasty, nasty water. You know what we can do? I know what we can do to make him use the bathroom. I'm going to give him diarrhea. This is going to be so mean. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Let's give him some diarrhea. Clear everything else out. You can only eat diarrhea bars. That's so mean, but it is what it is. Okay. You guys are only allowed to eat the diarrhea bars. Okay, so now that this time has come, and I set this sensor, it's going to replenish the water that I used for the system initially. So the cool thing about this is you'll already notice that when we first had this, we only pumped to here, but now I have some extra water. Now this will continue to happen until the water starts to back up and fills this up. The reason I like to clean the water and get the germs out of the water is because then I can reroute this system again using a liquid shutoff or whatever from this to take some of that water and put it back into the system in which I was initially doing it with. So if I load back into my original game, I don't want to lose the original file. I've lost this base 3 times now trying to find ways to do this, so it's risky to do. So now, as you can see from this system, I started with just one bathroom here, and I primed the system. So it ran this, and it ran it all the way until after I only put the water in for this one, I built more bathrooms. So after I built this bathroom here, I was able to take all my dupes off split cycle because I had 6. So you split the cycle. I only have as many dupes on a schedule as I do bathrooms. And I do that because if they're fighting to use the bathroom, they may not actually go to the bathroom, or they might not actually get their break. So we've done this, so now it's actually bath time. So what they're going to do is they'll go shower and such, whatnot when they wake up. They do that. You're going to have enough water in the overflow now to where you can actually fuel showers. Now when you put showers in here, showers are cool because they give your dupes like they give them like a squeaky clean buff. So it kind of helps with the morale, and since morale's a big deal and it helps them do their jobs better, it's kind of like an issue you run into with this. So after they get rid of their grimy buff, they no longer have that. They should get that back. Only problem with showers, guys, is you notice how I only have 1 pipe up here. That's fine, because if you don't put 2 spaces above the shower, they'll actually jump in and out of the shower because the dirty water will back itself up. Now, I put in only enough water to run 1 bathroom. And as you can see, that 1 bathroom, sinks and lavatories, has produced enough water to run a 2nd bathroom and showers at the same time, plus give me another 1,200 kilograms of water here in which it's going to start cleaning. So as it puts the water in, the dirty water is going to come out, and it's going to be full of food poisoning. That's the reason that I use the chlorine the way I do to clean my bathroom water, is because it gives my bathroom water that bonus for my duplicates, so they don't have to worry about I don't have to worry later about running this water off back into here if I need it, which I will, to feed like my bristle blossoms or my carbon skimmer, which I have also down here with little element sensors, because I want carbon dioxide here because I use it. I use the carbon dioxide to store my food, to grow some dust caps in the base, because slime lung doesn't matter once you cook it on a grill. It will kill all the germs. So that's kind of how I set up my bathrooms, guys, and this is like more of an applicable real world setting. If I had this geyser right here or any chlorine pocket, you can essentially do this with any chlorine pocket that you have near the base. That's what I use the liquid lock here for. This is really easy to build. As you can see, I've done that because the only bad thing is it gives your duplicates a debuff when they come through it because they get soggy feet, so it makes it kind of soppy wet. It gives them a little extra stress change per cycle, but this entirely will split the gases. There's no opening a door and oops, I let a little pocket of chlorine through it. There's none of that. My duplicates are actually getting rather stressed, so what I may do is I may have to build a massage room here soon. But anyhow, I just wanted to kind of go through and show you guys real fast how I get my duplicates their bathroom and how I create so much extra water in my game. So I appreciate you guys, and in the next video we're going to work on our self-powered oxygen maker, and that'll be pretty fun because there's a million different ways to make these things, and I'm hoping that you guys will show me how you make yours. So until next time, my friends, you all take it easy, and thank you.